and be with us and share in something that our whole Orion team has been involved with. And by the way, I did not introduce myself. This is another one of these bad things. I've done this many times, but I should know better. My name is Howard Pugh. I'm the NASA Orion Program Manager, and I've been on the program since the very beginning. I've had various jobs. I don't know what that says about me. Maybe I can't keep a job, but I'm very happy to lead this team. It's been an incredible journey for me personally, and be part of something that is bigger than myself, and be part of something that I work with terrific people, terrific teammates, the people, your loved ones here in this room, that represents not only people in the U.S., but people all across Europe and many countries. So thank you very much to all of you for coming, for cheering us on, and support the people that make this vehicle happen. And I can't be more proud. And let me just go into a little bit about what this mission is about. I hope you know a little bit about it, but you can obviously look at all the details on the internet, but I'll give you some highlights. So Rad, why don't we put up this picture next? Ah, that's my name right there. Okay. I should have called for this chart. How do I remember? Okay, so right off the bat, this is our spaceship. This is the Orion spaceship. The top part is the launch abort system that protects the crew during accident. If there's any issues underneath the rocket, 8.8 million pounds is our space launch system. That's the rocket. We can eject, get off safely, and return the crew home safely. So 0 to 500 miles per hour in 2.5 seconds. I don't know if anybody has a car that goes that fast, but let me know if you do. And then in the middle is our crew module. 4 people, 21 days, and really all the things the crew needs to live in space is provided in that protected environment. And below that is our service module, comprised of the crew module adapter. And for our European friends here, the European service module. We do not, you can cheer, by the way. I heard a cheering section for Europeans. Okay. They provide the support services we need: propulsion, electric power generation, cooling, water, oxygen for the crew and for the mission. So really great partnership that we have with the ESA, European Space Agency, and our Airbus friends as well. So we worked together for over a decade working on the European service module, and here we are with the spaceship all one together. And the crew module and the service module go together, and they go into space. That's our spacecraft in orbit. And then, of course, the crew module comes home safely with the crew when we land after the mission off the coast of San Diego. So really great vehicle that we have built, all the people around here. We have various people that have touched this vehicle. So if you don't know them, introduce yourselves to people, talk about what you do. This is a shared event as well, especially for the younger kids in our audience. They deserve to know a lot about what our spaceship does and how we get to space. So kids, ask a lot of questions to those people and see if you can stump them. Okay, and of course, in this spaceship, we have 4 fantastic individuals that are going to the moon. Okay, we have Commander Reed Wiseman, we have pilot Richard Glover, we have Mission Special Virginia Coach, and we have our Canadian friend Jeremy Hansen, who's flying for the first time. I mean, I can't think of a better crew that's one Artemis 2. And they are just terrific human beings, and they represent all of us. And they think about the things that we're doing to make them be successful in mission and have safe journey to the moon and back. And they really appreciate that. When I talk to them, they always talk about representing us and representing all the hard work that all of you've done and carried forward for the Orion program. So they're really excited. I just recently talked to them. They're very excited. They're ready for this mission. They know our teams are ready for this mission, and we are going to do a fantastic journey together with them, representing all of us, and seeing the images and hearing from them over the almost 10-day mission. So it's about 9 days and a couple hours or so, depending on when we launch. Okay, so with that, we're going to keep going. I want to introduce a good friend of mine. He's partnered with me on this program. He's a Lockheed program manager, Kurt Shireman, and he's going to talk a little bit about all the spacecraft that we have going on. So Kurt, welcome.
Thank you all for being here. It really is a pleasure to be here with you all. But really, it's really a pleasure to be here on the cusp of going back to the moon. So It's very, very exciting. I wanted to thank a few folks, if you don't mind. First off, I know lots of people here work Orion or worked Orion, but the real story is your spouses, your children, your family, who supported you all to make that happen. So big round of applause for the family. I can tell you, I have my wife, Chris, couldn't be here today, and I have a daughter, Erin, who actually worked on Orion. It's kind of funny. If you're around long enough, your kids work on the same program. They couldn't be here, but I can tell you, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them. So a big thanks for that. Also, I wanted to introduce Paul Anderson. Paul is out here, my deputy. Paul, where's Paul? He really makes things happen. And then there's a former Lockheed program manager, Tanya Ladwig. Tanya, there she is. The last thing I want to say, I'm new to Orion. Relatively. Howard's been, what did you say, 20 years, 20 plus years? 20 plus years. So I'm not. I'm relatively new, a year and a half. But I can tell you, I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for a really good friend, former Orion program manager, Mark Geiger. So hopefully some of you knew Mark, and I know Jack and Samantha are here. But big thanks, shout out to Mark, who's watching us from above. And I'm really looking forward tomorrow to make Mark happy. Let's see, let me we'll go to the next chart here. I'll tell you a few fun facts about Orion. Is this a video here?
No, just a
okay.
Sure.
So this is what it looks like if you're to the west of the rocket, looking at the sunrise. Although it looks more like a sunset, I'm not certain. But anyway, a beautiful vehicle. The weather's going to be just like this, by the way, tomorrow evening. So that's what we're counting on. Let's go to the next page. So the vehicle, Orion really is a vehicle that's built across the globe. There's more than 12,500,000 parts in an Orion vehicle. So you can see here's some from Illinois, some of the primary structures built in Illinois. Some that's built in Tazi, in Italy, in northern Italy, and I guess that's Torino is where Tazi facility is there in northern Italy. So these are parts from major structural parts built around the globe. Next page. They kind of come together and are welded together in New Orleans, Louisiana. So there's a big facility called Michoud in I guess it would be northeastern Louisiana, or northeastern New Orleans is where this facility is. It's huge, huge. Yeah, in fact, they have to give you a little golf cart to drive around the building. It's so big. But that's where we put the pressure vessel together, and so you can see in the right picture, that's what it looks like just before we pack it up and send it to Florida. So next page. And then it here arrives in the Kennedy Space Center, and we start adding all the equipment to it. And so first, it looks like kind of in the lower left half, you can see we've already added a bunch of equipment to the pressure vessel. Then we made it at the top page. You can see is the European Service Module. All of the little red dots. That's the European Service Module. There's a big white rim above that, and that's the crew lighting adapter. The actual pressure vessel that you see below sits on top of that, and that bottom part is just a little cone adapter. To tie into the rest of the rocket. So that's what it looks like. And then the page on the right is where we're mating it all together. And so as we build it, we test it along the way. We have to make sure that the vehicle can support the crew for 21 days, and support all the mission requirements it has. By the way, you can see in the picture on the right how it's starting to look shiny. You know, in Howard's picture, I call it the exploding Orion, which is probably a bad name, but where all the pieces came off, it was really bright and shiny as it rotated. That's actually what it looks like. So the bottom part of the picture of the Orion capsule there on the right, that's actually what it looks like for flight. Next page. And then when it's pretty much all done, it looks like on the left. You can even see the solar rays there. One of the solar rays, that black square on the left-hand side of the picture. On the left is the solar array. And then we can't send it out into the Florida air looking just like that. We put it in a shipping container, put a tarp over the top, and believe it or not, we run a bunch of air conditioners. You can't see it in the picture on the right, but you see Orion, you see Let's Go, you see Orion in his shipping container there, and then behind it is a bunch of air conditioners, and like, I don't know how many tires are in that thing. It's like a 32-wheeler or something like that drives away. But that's what it looks like. So you saw it coming in the door with that pressure vessel all the way to leaving just like this, and just about ready to fly. Next page. We send it to another facility to put the fuel on board. We use hydrazine, which is really effective, but pretty nasty stuff. We also use the coolant, you know, like your air conditioner uses Freon. We actually use ammonia. So we coolant in, we put hydrazine in, we put water, oxygen, nitrogen, all those things in. And then we put the abort rocket on the top. You can see that nice abort rocket on the top. We send it over to the vertical assembly building, and they take our Orion vehicle and stick it on top of the big rocket. So next page. And then it looks just like this. So the white part is our part, and then the orange part is the SLS. To give you an idea, when it rolls out of the vertical assembly building here, just did, I don't know, 20, how many days ago? Today's the 31st, so I can probably do the math. 11 days ago, it rolled out. It weighs about 15 million pounds. So 15 million pounds, crawler and the pad and the rocket. By the way, the rocket's empty. It's not no fuel. 15 million pounds. When it sits on the launch pad ready to go, it's a little over 5.5 million pounds. We light off the engines, which provide 8.8 million pounds of thrust. It goes up. And Orion, which is the one that's going on to the moon, is about 60,000 pounds. So all of that to shoot Orion to the moon, 60,000 pounds, and away we go. And 10 days later, we landed off the coast of California in a great successful mission. We fly at 25,000 miles an hour. I tell people this, I don't know about you, I have no idea how fast 25,000 miles an hour is. It seems fast, doesn't it? It seems pretty fast. So I calculated, because that's who I am. Many of you drove from the Orlando airport out here, and you probably remember fondly that drive, especially if there's lots of traffic. 7 seconds. Orion makes that trip in 7 seconds. Some of you, I'm sure there's somebody who came from California. If you came from California and you flew here, you got that beautiful airline trip, and then you got to drive 6.5 minutes from California to where we stand right now. So it's a great way to travel if you get a seat. So the views are outstanding too. Anyway, I think that's the last page. Is there anything else? No, that must be the last page. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your interest. This would not happen without you. Howard mentioned that 53 years ago, so it was actually December 14th, 1972, Gene Cernan was on the moon. And he said these words. As he's getting ready to climb the ladder, so Gene Cernan was the last human to put a footprint on the moon, and he said, "We leave as we come, and God willing, as we shall return, with peace and hope for all mankind." I'm really proud to be here today with all of you getting ready to do that return. Thank you.
Somebody who also a good friend, Randy, comrade Resnick. He is a huge part of the Orion program. He is our crew rep. And as part of our vehicle design process, we include our flight operations team. We also include our crew members as well to make sure that all the things we're designing in the spaceship is going to work for the crew as they operate. And having a veteran crew member, and I won't talk all the accolades and all the things that Conrad's done in his career, but certainly it is, we're very fortunate to have Conrad on our team and have him be part of the design team and development team with us, guiding us, helping us, and making sure that we're doing everything we can to keep our crew safe in the future with our spacecraft and support the mission. So everybody give a huge welcome to Randy, Conrad, Resnick.
Harold, for the kind words. I've got some friends that are here. Come on up on stage. Hope you got a chance to talk with them. We've got Steve Bowen. It's a Navy submariner by trade. He's flown on the space shuttle. He's flown on the SpaceX Dragon. He's done long duration, short duration, tons of spacewalks. And if you want to talk nuclear power in space, propulsion, and all that kind of stuff, this is the guy to talk to. Over here we got Matt Dominic. He got back last year from Flying Dragon and doing a long duration mission. You'll also see Don Pettit come into the picture. He was here earlier, he'll be back. And he came from the nuclear realm as well. He worked at Los Alamos before he became an astronaut. He's done long duration, short duration. He's taken more pictures from space than all of humanity combined from space. And we had the fortunate opportunity for Matt Dominic, your call sign Pojo, to be in space with Dawn. And so, especially you young people, if you want to know anything about how things work in space, then you need to go look at the videos that Pojo and Don put together that are on the internet. For the older folks, you'll kind of see that they're kind of like Laurel and Hardy, kind of Mutt and Jeff. For the younger people, you probably describe them more as like Beavis and Butthead. So make sure you talk to Pojo after this, and then you can figure out which one he is. All right, so before I say anything else, I was going to give the mic to them to let them, all the astronauts will work Orion at some point, and let them say a few words about what they've done over the span of time for their touch point with Orion.
All right, so I have not worked exploration as much as Randy has. I spent a couple years working the Orion capsule with the program and exploration ground systems as well. That was about 10 years ago. It's amazing to see how far we've come, and it's amazing to think of all this coming together and working together tomorrow.
Thanks.
Thank you. Spent a couple years ago working in the Orion capsule on some of the entry control laws and doing some of the testing there as well as the human interface. But I really wanted to take a second to say thank you specifically to the families of those who work on this vehicle and those who work on the vehicle themselves, and I'll explain why. We get a choice in life sometimes. Some of us are lucky enough to do that in what we do, and the people in this room have chosen to work on a thing for humans to come together and build something as engineers that has people on it. And that comes with a lot of additional stress in your life, right? My wife over there will tell you, when I'm working on an engineering project, I carry that stress outside of work hours. Maybe I'm watching my daughters play soccer, but my mind wanders. Did we make the right decision today in that meeting? And I know that you guys go well outside your work hours and you probably don't log it, the stress and those thoughts. And your families support you in that. So I really mean it. It takes you guys working on it and your family supporting you to get humans around the moon. Thank you.
All right, what a great note. I'm going to ask again for everybody that has worked on Orion, go ahead and raise your hands again. For those of you that are not raising your hands, look around at all these different people. Talk to the ones that you don't know. Get their story. Because all of them, go ahead and put your hands down, all of them invested blood, sweat, and tears, hopefully not too much blood, over years to be able to get us to this moment in history where, as Howard said, we are launching humans to the moon for the first time in 54 years. But you also represent a lot of people that are not here. Think of all the dozens or hundreds or thousands of people that you work with at your site that are not fortunate enough to be here like we are today. Whether that is at the walking facilities, as you heard in Michoud, Littleton, and other places. All our ESA friends, whether it's at Bremen or Leiden or Michelshausen. Or think about a MER team who's on console now, getting ready for the launch tomorrow. The flight control team that is on console now, getting ready for tomorrow. You represent them, enjoy this for them, share it with them, because you're fortunate enough to be here. Now let's kind of take the mission and make it personal right now. 22 hours from now, that crew that you got introduced to, that Howard showed you on board, they're going to be waking up. 22 hours. 4 hours after that, they're already going to be up the tower and starting to ingress the vehicle, getting ready for launch. Then at about 5:45, we're going to go into the 30-minute hold. And hopefully there's no issues with the vehicle, and we're just waiting for 30 minutes. Then about 6:15, Howard will give in his go to the head of the mission management team. The mission management team will give in their go to the launch director. And the crew's going to hear over the radio, go for launch. At 6:14, that go for launch, and a 10-minute countdown will start. All of that to that point, the crew's familiar. We rehearsed it, we practiced it, we're familiar. 5 minutes after that go for launch, as the clock counts down, the launch abort system is going to be armed. Crew has not experienced that. That's one of those go moments. I mean, that's where I can see Mike leaning over to Tonto and going, this is getting real, you know? That launch abort system, and if anything happens with the rocket at that point, it will lift the crew off at 18 Gs, pull them high enough to be able to get the parachutes out to be able to land them in the water off the coast. So that's one of those, it's getting real moments. Then, the final 10, 9, 8. We've gotten down to 5 seconds before in simulation, and we were doing the countdown demonstration test and the tanking test. We've not gotten down to those last 5 seconds. And in the 6 seconds, the RS-25s are going to light off. We're going to check them out. They're going to be operating. But at that 0 mark, those solid rocket motors are going to light. At that point, there's no going back. You can't turn them off. And the vehicle's going to lift off. God willing, at 6:24 tomorrow evening. In 7 seconds, they will have cleared the tower. Just under 1 minute, they'll be going supersonic. 70 seconds, they're hitting max Q, that maximum dynamic pressure. And for those of us that have ridden solids before, if you took a bicycle and rode it down a cobblestone street, it is bouncing. And they're going to feel that. And none of these crew members have ridden solids before. That's going to be a totally new experience for them. As I mentioned earlier, 8.8 million pounds of thrust. That's like 1.3 million pounds more thrust than our shuttles had with their solid rocket motors at 3 hours and 25. So no one human has ever felt that. But they're going to be able to come back and tell us what that was like. A little over 2 minutes later, after the launch, those solids are finally going to come off. The ride's going to get a little smoother, but they're accelerating so fast, they're going to get about 2.8 Gs, or 2.8 times gravity. You're going to feel that through their chest. It's kind of like an elephant sitting on your chest. Now, a little over 3 minutes, that launch abort system, that big towering white cone that you saw on the top of the vehicle, that's going to come off, and now their windows are going to be exposed for the first time. We launched at 6:24. Well, that's going to be the first time they're going to actually see some daylight, as they should still have sunset on the vehicle, but as quickly as they're moving east, that's because we become sunset for that as they go further east. Then just over 8 minutes, finally, main engine cutoff. They reach orbital velocity, and everything starts to float. 3 of those crew members have felt that before. Jeremy Hansen has not. So he'll be feeling that for the first time. But there is no rest for the wicked. They have to take this spacecraft they've been strapped into, and they got to turn that into their home for the next 10 days and make sure that the water works. They got to turn the toilet on. They got to get out of their suits. They got to reconfigure the seats and stow them so they have a nice, clean cabin. Because a little over 3 hours, we'll go 1 hour after the launch. They do the perigee raise maneuver so they can stay out of Earth's atmosphere on the other side of the planet. And then when they get about 2 hours into the flight, they do the apogee raise burn and extend their orbit way out into a 24-hour orbit. That 24-hour orbit is about 38,000 miles away from Earth. The International Space Station has been at 250 miles for the last 26 years, continuous human presence. The highest humans have been away from Earth during that time frame was typically about the Hubble repair missions. They were about 400 miles. Well, then we had Polaris Dawn a couple of years ago. They got to about 800 miles. So this crew is going to be on their first, big orbit around the Earth, like PO you hear talked about, the high Earth orbit. They're going to be about 50 times farther than humans have been since 1972. And that's about twice the distance of all the geosynchronous satellites that are around the Earth as well. So they're going to be way out there. And they're going to be checking out all the environmental light control systems and to make sure we're comfortable with all the systems we haven't tested on any other flight with people on board or working so we can go to the moon. But a little over 3 hours into the flight, they are ready to be doing one of the most complex tasks they have for the whole flight called proxops demo, the proximity operations, where Orion's going to undock from the second stage, it's called the ICPS. Then that ICPS is going to float while they actually turn around, point Orion at it, and maneuver the vehicle. Victor Glover's going to be flying the translational hand controller and the rotational hand controller and seeing if the vehicle responds the way we expect. Do we have the pulse sizes correct? Do we have the intervals correct? Do we have the cross coupling and the way that the flight control system works? So they'll be testing that out. That finishes up, they're going to be exhausted. About 8 hours after launch, they finally get to go to sleep. So they woke up 8 hours before, 8 hours, that's a 16-hour day. A few major life events during that, during that time frame. So they're going to be exhausted. But 5 hours after they go to sleep, they got to wake up. Because they'll be at the apex of their orbit, and they have to do what's called a perigee raise burn to get them farther enough away from Earth to be able to allow them to burn the next day to get to the moon. So they get to wake up, they get to the perigee raise burn, and then they get to go back to sleep for a couple hours. Wake up the next day, get ready, and about 25 hours after launch, one day, full day after launch, we're doing the trans-lunar ejection burn. And all of us will hear over, whether it's NASA Plus, YouTube or wherever it is, you're going to hear, Artemis 2, go for TLI. And that would be an amazing moment. That means the vehicle is operating properly. We checked everything out. It is ready to go in the next 9 days to the moon and back out. After the TLI burn is done, they have several days where they're working on their way to the moon, and then on day 6, that's the day where they finally get around the backside of the moon. They see that the closest point of approach. And all the study they've done, they're doing observations on the backside of the moon we can't see here from Earth. And Apollo 13 holds the record for over 248,000 miles away from Earth. They will likely, depending on exactly when we launch and how it works out, they'll have to surpass that. And so it'll actually be the farthest humanity has been away from our planet during Flight Day 6. And at the end of Flight Day 6, before they go to bed, I'm hoping that down in Mission Control, we have a picture. A lot of people remember Earthrise from Bill Anders on Apollo 8 and how that galvanized and inspired the world to see our planet just as a small blue marble out there in the void of space. That night we get a picture from the Artemis Earthrise taken by one of our crew members in the vehicle that you built. That'll belong to all of us. Then a few days back towards Earth, Flight Day 9, they're getting ready to configure the vehicle, to put the seats back together, get the suits ready, everything checked out to be able to do the re-entry. They come in for re-entry, and we're aiming for this little point called entry interface. It's this very small box where you got to be at the right place, the right angle, at the right speed to be able to come into Earth, get the atmosphere, and land where we want to land. Michael Collins on Apollo 11 described entry interface. He was the command module pilot. He described entry interface as trying to split a human hair by throwing a razor blade at it from a distance of 20 feet. So this is something that from the TLI burn and every day along the mission, the team is redefining, correcting orbits, making little burns, make sure we can hit that entry interface at the right place at the right time. When we finally get close to the entry interface, about 20 minutes prior, the service module will separate from Orion. It will have done its job. It will separate, and the right heat shield will be exposed for the very first time. Because from entry interface down to the ground, it's only 13 minutes. And during that time, that heat shield will absorb all the energy from coming back from the moon at Mach 36. You see, the astronauts are wearing Mach 25 patches because that's the speed we come back from low Earth orbit. They're going to be doing Mach 36. And that heat shield is going to be about 4,000 degrees, or half the temperature of the surface of the sun. And so it's going to do its job. The crew will be sitting there watching for the pilot shoots, the drogue shoots, the main shoots, and feel that tug and slow down in those final few minutes of flight. We're going to be watching on the cameras from helicopters and airplanes floating over above, cheering when we see the good main shoots. And everybody will be able to exhale the first time when we splash down. When we see the hatch open and the inflatable cause the Navy, pulling the crew out, that's when we finally exhale and say, well done, mission accomplished. Welcome home, Artemis 2. So, none of that is possible without the work that you've done. So on behalf of the people in the blue suits that will ride the rockets you build, live in the spacecraft that you created, thank you, and Godspeed, Artemis 2. And as a special treat, we have a message from space to you from Chris Williams. Here we go.
Greetings from the International Space Station. Congratulations and thank you to the Orion team. Many of you have supported the International Space Station over the years, and your work has helped keep us safe and productive every single day. Thanks to you, we're now passing the baton from low Earth orbit to deep space, and marking the beginning of a bold new era in exploration. The Orion team, made up of engineers, technicians, designers, planners, and more, has built something extraordinary. You haven't just created a spacecraft, you've opened a door to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Your dedication and innovation are what have made the Artemis 2 mission possible, and what will carry our friends, Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, to the moon and return them home safely. Your work inspires us, and future generations, to dream bigger, reach further, and explore deeper. From low Earth orbit to the moon, thank you for leading humanity into the future. Ad Luna, Orion. Thank you.
Wow, that's fantastic, Chris. Appreciate that. And another round of applause for Randy, Conrad, President. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today on stage. I can't believe how wonderful our astronaut corps is. Not only the crew that we're sending to the moon, but the people that are going to be future moonwalkers. So hopefully you took some pictures with some of these astronauts, because one day they may be walking on the moon as well. And I know our Artemis 1, both Reed and Christina was here at the Artemis 1 event, and I know if you were here, you might have gotten some pictures with them. We did not know they were going to the moon at the time, but that was certainly an awesome event. So thank you again, Conrad, and appreciate the story of the mission, and hopefully you all got some great overview of what we're going to do over the next almost 10 days. Let's see, I'm going to wrap it up a little bit, and I know you guys can sit in your seats, but I wanted to introduce a couple special people that certainly have really helped me as in the program, and that's our leadership team that has worked tirelessly as our overall Moon to Mars program, our exploration development mission directorate, and this is Dr. Lori Glaze over here. Lori, come on, this is great. Say hello to her. It is a really tough job. She has to first of all deal with headquarters people, and I won't say anything about that, but Lori has done a fantastic job leading us and leading our three programs, so our ground systems, our launch vehicle, and of course our Orion program. I want to thank Lori for her outstanding leadership, and thank you so much for your support. And her deputy, Lakeisha Hawkins. Come on, Lakeisha. I won't have her say speeches or words, but I am going to give the mic because I think they should just say a few words to our team. I know they've seen the team work. They've engaged a lot with Debbie and I and some of our leadership team, but they don't get to see the team very much, and I want to make sure they heard some words. Also, just really quickly, I know I put you on the spot, I'm sorry, but thank you.
I promise I'll be very quick. First off, I just want to say, doesn't Randy tell a great story? I do want to take this opportunity to thank every single person that works on the Orion program. There are just not enough words to tell you how much we appreciate the years and the hours and all of the time that we put in. But I also just wanted to say I love that Orion is putting on this event with friends and family here to celebrate with you, because just as much as we thank every single individual that works on the programs, we thank your families, because we know that they have to endure when you're working long hours and that you're stressed and trying to get the work done. It's the friends and family that are our support system. Every one of you are important to every individual and have contributed to this mission. So thank you all very much.
Thanks, Howard. Thanks, Dr. Blaze. I just want to talk about what a privilege it is to be here with you. I am doing everything in my power to be present, to be in the moment. This has been a long time coming for all of us, and I know with the work that we've put in, you guys have put in tenfold the work, and your families have been 10 times as patient with the long hours and the long days and the commitment. I'm so excited, and I know that we are ready to go, Artemis. Thank you.
Okay, I have a few other thank yous. Kurt mentioned some leadership. I wouldn't be here without obviously a great team, but the people that came before me. I've been a program manager for about 4 years. I think Mark Geyer set the tone for what the program is. Unfortunately, he passed away, but his family's here, so I don't know where the Geyer family is. I hope they're still here. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to see them. I was busy doing something else this afternoon. But Mark Geyer certainly set the tone for the program, and I really appreciate it. I don't know if Mark Kiersich, his deputy, is here, but he was also the program manager for many years. Mark? Okay. All right. But those individuals on Kathy Kerner really helped the program drive to where it's today. And I feel like I'm the lucky guy at the end to score the touchdown and get carry the program forward as we move forward to bring people back to the moon. And it's been a privilege. And a special thanks to our leadership team that I want to highlight. These individuals who work with me have put in so many hours and so committed to the program. They don't get to come up the stage, but I want to thank them personally. So our leadership team who leads, I see Luis back there. Raise your hand, Tim Otterson. Yeah, Tim's proud of you, wherever you are. Luis, I'll say it. Raise your hand, keep your hand raised up, please. Okay, where is Katie O'Reilly? Glenn Chin, if he's here. I'm sorry, I don't know where everybody is, but keep your hands up, raise your hands. Glenn's back there, I see him. Wonderful. And Mandy Gaspard, where she's at. Mandy's over here. Okay, raise your hand, Mandy. Let's see, did I hit all the cans? I think I have. Let's see, yes, Stephanie Schulte. So we can. Thank you, Stephanie. Yes, I can see you from afar. I'm sorry. And then our technical authorities who help us, who live with us in the program, who really guide us as well. Ronnie Backus, where's Ronnie?
He's in a meeting.
He's in a meeting. Okay, he's working hard. I hope there's nothing going on.
It's fine.
It's all good? Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, where's Susan back here? I saw her. Susan, she's our health medical technician. I'm going to give you a phone. She is going to talk. Yeah, what? No, he doesn't. She's going to talk over here. It's called like a fireside chat. You got a ticket to the visitor center, and she knows everything about crew health. Water consumption, food, their medical health. Ask her tough questions, kids. Here, so she can be ready for the fireside chat. If you can't find her here, she's looking very lovely in this Orion shirt. Okay? Yeah, raise your hand high, Susan. Don't be shy. And let's see. And then we have Kevin McClan. Where's Kevin? Oh, he's working in Houston. I'm sorry. He's our safety leader, and so it's been a pleasure. And finally, there is nobody I can thank more than my deputy, Debbie Ford. She's right there. First of all, it's not easy work with me. Okay, so and Debbie does it every day, just with tremendous effort, and I really appreciate her. And then one last person who has put her blood, not much blood, I hope, like Conrad said, sweat and tears, is Brunel Rodriguez, who is our Army continuously over the last several years, and can't thank her enough also for all that she has done. So I want to wrap this up. I want to thank all of you for coming again. You heard the words from the crew. You heard the words from our leadership. Can't thank you enough for the families and employees that have made this happen. But for all of you This is your mission. This is your spacecraft. All of you. Whether you're Americans, you're Europeans, or our international partners around the world, this is our mission. This is more than just Orion team, this is all of us. And the crew is representing all of us, and they're going for all of us. And that's what makes the mission exciting, that's what makes me excited and so proud to represent that, and to be able to return humanity back to the moon for all of us. So thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. I really appreciate all the hard work on the team. Give yourself a round of applause. Thank you so much. Okay, don't leave yet. I forgot something. I always do this because I'm not a good host sometimes. I forgot something. Where is Samantha Rodriguez? Oh, Samantha, come up here. I think we got one more special guest I was supposed to introduce. Samantha is our special guest. Give her a round of applause. I'm going to ask Samantha a question. By the way, she's Brunel's daughter, so she knows a lot about Orion, okay? But I don't know if she knows about this one. So, have you heard, Samantha, about the zero gravity indicator? What is that?
You're very lucky I've been studying. A zero gravity indicator, or ZGL, is a small object, normally a plushie, that will tell us when a spaceship or the crew is in microgravity.
So, wow, okay. So, do we have this ZGI that you're talking about?
Yes, we do. A ZGI named Rise will be riding the Artemis 2 crew in Orion on the mission.
Really? Wow, okay, great. Rise. So, we know the crew very well. I don't know too much about Rise, right? I don't know much about Rise, but, you know, I know that we'll get to know Rise a little bit more, and she will rise to the occasion. That's a dad joke, by the way.
I think it's a great idea, actually. And I can let you know something really cool. Rise was actually chosen by the Artemis 2 crew during a worldwide contest. It's inspired by the Earth riding on Apollo 8. And I think it's a great idea, and I think you guys will even help us rise with expectations. I would like to introduce our zero gravity indicator Rise.
And for all of you, Rise is in the room and coming out. So you can have pictures with our zero